week before that, the Seattle Seahawks traded with the Raiders, Geno Smith. So Geno's on the Raiders, Sam Darnold's on the Seahawks. And I think both of those teams, Max, were in a position where they weren't going to draft a quarterback in the top 3, right? They're outside the top 3. So they're probably not going to get Cam Ward. Cam Ward's out of the question
Well,
unless they trade
I
up.
think Shador was in the running for the Raiders, and we've seen a lot of things. And you know what? I think it's a different. I know it's different NFL, but we saw one time when Pete Carroll went after a quarterback, Matt Flynn. It didn't stop him from taking a quarterback down the road. Now I don't think it's going to be at 6, but hey, maybe Jalen Milroe's sitting there in round 4, and you're like, damn, maybe we get Jalen Milroe. Maybe we could strike gold twice. Maybe we get like our franchise quarterback in the 4th round.
My thing, Max, is I don't think they feel that confident about anyone other than Cam Ward.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're sold on Shador, you're like, oh, let's just move up. We're not going to go trade for Geno Smith, who Geno Smith's a great bridge. He might be the best bridge quarterback out there.
And people have to understand, like, me and you were outside these buildings. Everyone is outside these buildings. Yes, you have some insiders, but for the most part, we don't know what's being talked behind closed doors. Most teams know who they're picking. Most teams know who they like already. They've been known who they liked since December.
Well, they have a plan. They're like, okay, so at 6, if Brock Bowers is there, we're taking him. Okay, if Latu's there, we're taking him.
And you don't know. Team have. And you don't know if it's a domino effect, Max, as far as one team putting out there. Let's say the Raiders do like Shador Sanders, right? Who knows if they're pushing a negative narrative out there to drop his draft stock? And monkey see, monkey do.
And I will say one thing too, and you hear it from a lot of the guys who are in the buildings who have contacts in the NFL, which we don't yet, hopefully one day. But it's about the coaches are starting to get into the swing of it now. Like they're in the draft. And now it's not just about always the GM has final say. Very few organizations, the GM has the say. Like it's like I would say the Eagles are a team where it's Howie Roseman's pick. Doesn't matter. Does not matter what you say. But some teams like Ben Johnson probably has a say in who the Bears pick. Like, okay, we're going to do this. And that's where the coaches get into it. There's no way Pete Carroll doesn't have a say. There's no way Pete Carroll doesn't have a say in who the Raiders pick first. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean,
there's no way he has no input. Like some coaches, it's like give a lot. Like I would say Harbaugh's a guy who's going to have a lot of impact, like Jim Harbaugh.
And I think especially with Pete, where he wasn't coaching last year. So he's gotten a head start probably on a lot of these prospects, a lot of these free agents. He wasn't in the midst of the season coaching a football team.
Yeah, he was literally thinking about where I get my job, what I envision, the guys I want. Yeah. Correct. And
he's already
something to consider.
That. Yeah.
So let me get into it. Let me get your thing. I know you hate your team. I know maybe this move pulled you right back in. Who knows where you're at with the Raiders? What's up? Tell me. Is this good, bad? Do you wish you had Devontae still? Tell me.
It's decent. Look, I like it in a sense that we don't have to pull the trigger on anything crazy. You know, like get a guy like Jackson Dart, or we have to trade up compensation for a guy in Cam Ward who, I mean, some people are not even all that confident about. You know, it's really hot and cold with certain guys. You know, you talk about a guy like Shador Sanders. We're not put in a position where we have to go after need. We have Geno. Geno's fine. We just did the quarterback tiers. He's a vet for rent. He's obviously a rental for the Raiders. He's not the long-term answer, but it puts you in a position where you don't have to panic. You don't have to make a crazy move. The Raiders are capable of winning some football games next year with Geno Smith. Geno Smith is a B-plus quarterback. He's nothing more. He's nothing less. Depending on how much you're going to pay him, because they still haven't restructured his contract, I think he's going to get paid a little bit more coming up soon.
I don't think it'll matter in the grand scheme of things, because by the time you have to like once the next decision happens for Geno Smith, you'll be looking to replace him already, if not have the replacement for him. Yeah. And it's all good. Like, so what, you spent $40 million on him the next 2 years.
Yeah. But I like it. I like it. Look, it's nothing crazy as far as like a game changer, you know, but it's just the reality of things. And I think the Raiders are
a move in the right direction.
Yeah,
for sure.
And the Raiders are learning from their mistakes, bro. Last year, they put themselves in a position where they were fucked. You know, if they didn't go for a quarterback, and look what happened. You fire your coach. You went, 4-12, whatever it was, because you didn't have one, because you didn't want to pull the trigger. So you're not in that position. You're in a position where if you don't get one of these guys, cool, fine. If you do get one of these guys, perfect. Let them sit. We have Geno. You're good to go. We don't have to go all in on this year.
Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both ways. Not on my team. This organic, we don't buy street.